So we back with another Creative Moments interview. We got Duval legend,
Yes, sir.
JUCO product, Kansas football player, Bills football player, Carl Nesmith. How you doing?
Yes, sir, man. I'm doing great, man. Thank God, man. Thank you for having me here, man.
It's awesome. It's awesome to have you here, man. Most definitely. Now we're gonna start off with the first question.
Okay. All right.
Got
We're
you
going
playing
straight
the
to
game.
it. What got me playing the game? Man, that's a good question, man. Way to start it off. But what got me playing the game, man, it's crazy. It was my grandmother Betty, my mom's mom. She was a hardworking lady, and she always tried to find ways to keep us active and busy. So one summer, she signed us up for, I think it was like Earth to White. Earth to White was more like it's like, you know about Lee Bulls, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of like the Boys and Girls Club. So basically, she signed us up for that, and that was the first time that we started, competitive, playing basketball, playing football, and it kind of stick with us from there. And we just started out just playing sports, period. And it just kind of turned into a passion for me, my brother, and it was just an awesome feeling to just go out there and play ball, just be free. And that's what got me in love with it, man.
Gotcha. Okay. So you said your brother. Do you come from a family of athletes?
Yeah, and I'm starting to find out more and more about that. But I had my uncles, Anthony Nesmith, my dad, Carl Sr. He played a little bit, and some more people in my family. They played ball, so I'm just finding out some of this stuff. But it was a couple athletes in the family. But it really kind of started with me and my brother Jaron. Really laying the foundation of getting after it and taking it serious, training and doing all the different things to get ready for the season. So yeah, man.
Okay, cool. So, what high school did you go to, man?
Man, that's a cool story too. I had the luxury, man, of I stayed with my mom until about 14. So I had the opportunity to go live with my dad. So you thinking I came up on the north side of Jacksonville, Murder Avenue, and then probably around 14, I moved over here in the Paxton area, right off of Columbus Avenue. So I kind of had the best of both worlds because I can go to the north side where I grew up and then staying with my dad. I kind of got over in this area, so I had to go to Rains after my junior year. But before that, I was at Paxton, man, which was the best time of my life, man. As a young man, I kind of grew up there, playing sports. I had a good coach, Coach Jennings, and then I had an even better coach, and Coach Ellis McSwain. He instilled some toughness, some grit, some work ethic, and it kind of just stuck with me. And then that's when I went on to Rains my senior year, where I had a great opportunity there too, met some great people, great teammates, learned some great things, great coaches also. So again, I just had that luxury that a lot of players really didn't have, going to a different school and being accepted as who I was, with really no hate, man. Just open arms coming from Paxton over the Rains, and they got some dudes. They had some dudes. So it was just a great feeling for me to be able to experience that.
Awesome. Okay. So I gotta ask you, man, what were them high school stats like, man? I know.
Man, this is the thing. I think I was probably one of the most underrated, slept on quarterbacks coming out of Jacksonville, because we had some big names at quarterback. We had the Tony Woods coming out of Reebok. We had Eric White that came out of Paxton and transferred over to Forest. We had some great quarterbacks come out, man. I know I'm missing some, but it was a lot of great guys. But because I was at Paxton and we wasn't that good, I think we kind of went under the radar as far as the stats. But I remember being in the top 5 in the city and passing. I maybe probably was a top 5 in city in interceptions thrown too, but but I threw for a lot of yards. We threw the ball a lot, man. We threw the ball a lot over at Paxton. Coach McSwain gave me the keys to the Porsche in the 10th grade to be able to just call my own plays and kind of do my own thing out there. And that's what he did. So, you know, we threw the ball a lot, and that was just how we did it over there. So my stats wasn't bad, man. I just didn't get the notoriety that I thought I deserved as a quarterback.
Gotcha. Okay, so what was your workout regimen like back then?
In high school?
Yeah.
Well, my mentality was more like eat the weights, lift weights, squat, run. So we did things real basic in the weight room, but we just thought the best thing to do was work out for 2 hours in the weight room, lifting weights, squatting, doing all we can to get bigger and faster. And then just condition after that. I remember my coach, one of my coaches, he took everything out of a football, and he stuffed like some clothes or something he did to where he made the football way heavier than it was, and he just used to make me work drops. I mean, don't throw it, just drops, 3-step drops, 5-step drops, 7-step drops. Then he started telling me to throw the ball and just work on my accuracy. And it was really working on my accuracy, strengthening up my arm, and he was helping me with my mechanics. So all this stuff I was doing, really not understanding why I was doing it, but I just enjoyed it because I just felt like it was gonna make me better. And once I went into my season and seeing how much it helped me, I just fell in love with that part of the game too, as far as learning how to get my body right, how to work out, how to eat, just the small things that, you know, you guys out there that's listening and watching, that you got to do to give yourself an opportunity to get to the top, man. So we learned that early, and we took advantage of it.
Okay. So what was recruiting like for you coming out of high school?
Recruiting, man. Recruiting for me, I remember it so vivid because I really didn't think I was good enough to play college football. And I really didn't know if somebody really was going to recruit me. So it was kind of strange how it happened, but it was a blessing because I was offered by Texas Southern for, I think it was more like a Prop 48, which is something different, where if you don't have the grades, you can sit out and you can work on your grades and we'll still give you a scholarship. So that was like the only offer I had. But then I had this guy named James Shebis. They drove from El Dorado, Kansas, which is near Wichita, Kansas. So I'm quite sure they drove probably about 20 to 23 hours. I don't know how long it took far as in days. I don't know how they did it, but they came down and they drove down to Jacksonville, Florida, and offered me a scholarship to Butler Community College in El Dorado, Kansas, which I never knew even where it was at. 2 stoplights, a Walmart, and a drive-in movie theater. But great community, great family, great place to raise your family, good people. It just gave a young kid like me an opportunity to grow up, feel safe, play the game I love. And it was just a perfect marriage for me because it helped me grow up a little bit. So that's what I did. I ripped up that scholarship to Texas Southern. I took the junior college route and went to El Dorado, Kansas, and played under James Shebis. Man gave me a great opportunity. He believed in me before I even believed in myself, just like Coach Ellis McSwain did. So I always remember them guys, man. And that's another thing about the young guys and these guys coming up in this lane, man, in this era. You guys don't respect the OGs and the guys who, you know, put you up on game and put you up on what you're supposed to be doing. I think you guys need to make sure you stay and pay homage to that. But back to what I was saying on that, but you know, just a great opportunity for me, man, and I just appreciate all that happened for me, just learning how to work and grind.
Gotcha. So you went JUCO in the 90s.
Yeah, man.
And what was JUCO like in the 90s? Because we see like, okay, like what was the show that's on Netflix?
What's the show?
CC.
Yeah. Oh man,
Yeah,
I forgot the name of the football show too. I know what you're talking about. Last Chance U. Yes. Yeah.
You know about that, and that was kind of rough. What was it like in the 90s, man?
Man, I'm gonna tell you, I used to see guys creeping out the dorms 2, 3 in the morning to go hop on the Greyhound. Like guys be from Florida, Georgia, wherever, like just couldn't handle it. They go hop on the Greyhound and take 2 days and go back home. Guys just can't handle it. It's you just gotta have a mentality. You gotta have your mind made up. You gotta have a plan somewhat. And the love for the game gotta take you past whatever you may be feeling or doubting. The love for the game and opportunity and knowing what you wanna do gotta take you past all that doubt, all that, man, I wanna go home, I'm homesick. Man, no, it's about what you really wanna do. And that's what JUCO gonna tell you. That's what it does for you. It's gonna make you, make your mind up for real. Because if you're not serious, you're gonna be one of them guys leaving out in the middle of the night, hopping on a plane back home, blaming the coaches, blaming it on something else other than really what it is,
Gotcha. Okay, so what's the difference between recruiting when you were coming out and recruiting now?
It's easy now. It's easy now, and just a few reasons. You can really, as a player right now, you can really sell yourself. You got social media, you got Huddle, you got all these different things to where if you got a little bit of film and your grades are good, you're gonna get an opportunity somewhere. Versus back when I came out, a coach, if they come in to see you, they really want you. Now these coaches flying in, they can just make a trip in just because they want to, really don't want to recruit, just doing their job. But back in my days, coaches will come to you, they're gonna come sit on your couch, they're gonna explain to you what they want from you and give you an opportunity. Also, we just, like I said, we didn't have the social media outlets. We didn't have all the different things going on to where guys can get seen so fast and, one play can go viral and coaches start trying to figure out who the kid is. So just different things like that. But I like the fact that now more players get opportunities who they haven't seen. So you can find guys, between a rock and a hard place or at a small school and give them an opportunity. A lot of the times back in my day, those guys didn't get that opportunity and they got looked over.
Okay. So while you were playing JUCO ball, when did the big schools start reaching out?
It happened when my coach, James Sheevers, again, bringing him up, he probably did the toughest thing for me. I don't know how tough it was for him, but I always thought I was a quarterback. So coming out of high school, I was a quarterback. Going to my freshman year in JUCO, I was a quarterback. But going into my sophomore year, my coach asked me to change positions, which was crazy. From quarterback to receiver, which I never played receiver before. And it was just a tough transition for me because a young guy who just felt like, I'm a quarterback. Why are you switching my position? And I just didn't understand it. So I was very frustrated. I was very bitter. And I was just trying to question, why, instead of just accepting it. And I thought he was gonna switch and change his mind. When I seen he didn't do that, I had to go home that summer, and I just worked on my game and grind at receiver, and end up finishing. I was All-American kick returner. That was the first time I ever tried that with the position at wide receiver. So I'm like, okay. And then I started working on my route running. I started liking catching the ball, and felt like I kind of knew more playing quarterback. So I kind of knew the soft spots to get at, running the routes and different things like that. And it just became natural once I bought in. Once I bought in, then I knew and understood why Coach switched me over. And then that's when the schools came just ringing in, man. Like, and it wasn't all, it was D1 schools, but it was like your Wyomings, Kansas, they was the number one. Just schools like that, Iowa State, just little small schools. Well, not small schools, but like, to me, I felt like I should have been going to any school I wanted to go to, but I didn't have it like that. So I stuck within the realm of it, man. But I got some schools to offer, and I felt like being that I was already in the state of Kansas, now why not stay in the state, man, and see what I can do. So that was the decision, and that's how that happened with getting my recruiting started. And I say I want to go to a school where, okay, Kansas is known for a basketball school. So me calculating in my head, I'm like, if I can come here and, turn some heads at a school that's for basketball, I can get the attention for football, and that's what I did, man. Just came in, worked. They signed me. The main thing was they signed me. I asked them to sign me. I said, I'll sign if you sign me as an athlete. So they're like, what do you mean? As an athlete? I'm like, don't sign me at a position. Let me sign, just put ATH. So you give me opportunities to play several positions and then see what I'm good at. See where I'll be helpful at. Now, this is me coming out my sophomore year from a JUCO playing wide receiver and kick return. So they was like, okay, when they told me okay on that, where I signed. So that's where I signed with the University of Kansas, man. I tried for receiver first couple of days. They was talking. I went to safety. They put me in safety. And for some reason, it just clicked. And they just started giving me reps. I started learning and just working and grinding. And next thing you know, I'm on the field playing against Notre Dame on TV. And it happened that quick. Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
So, coming out of high school, not being highly recruited, then having to go play JUCO, then being able to come to a bigger school like Kansas, did that put a chip on your shoulder going through all that, or how did that feel for you?
Nah, like I said, it was calculated. I say, will you guys sign me as an athlete? So I already was thinking in my mind, I'm gonna go to a school, I'm gonna go where I can get the best opportunity and get a lot of opportunities. Because if it don't work at this, I'll try that. Most schools gonna sign you, well, not schools sign you as an athlete, but most schools gonna sign you at a position. So that's why I did that. That was one thing. And then staying in the state, that's why I did it.
Gotcha. So, man, you played with some dogs in college. We just gonna name a few that had some NFL talent. Andrew Davidson.
Oh, yeah.
Adrian Jones.
Yeah.
Maureen Norris.
Oh, yeah.
Sean McDermott.
Yeah.
When did the pro scouts start reaching out to you?
It was crazy on that too. Again, I came in as a junior, coming from a JUCO, so I only had 2 years to show what I can do. After my junior year at Kansas, I was first team all Big 12, first safety on the board. I was all Big 12 defensive newcomer of the year. I was probably finished second or third in the conference in kick return average. I didn't start till like the 5th game, but I finished with like 89 tackles, maybe 3 picks, you know what I'm saying? And my kick return average was crazy in the Big 12, you know what I mean? So I think I should have left after my junior year. That was probably what I should have did, but I was so, like everything was happening so fast and I really wasn't believing that I had an opportunity to play in the NFL. Like after all that I did after my junior year, I still was questioning, like, because there was a new position. I've never played safety before. That was my first year. So I'm like, man, I get in the league. I leave right now my junior year and try to go to the league, and I'm still learning the position. It's just probably not gonna work. But I think I should have left then, but I didn't. So I came back, worked on some things, got bigger, faster, stronger, started all my games. My senior year, all my stats was better. Still made first team all Big 12, did everything. But coming out, I went to the combine. I got invited to the combine. I trained, I did well and everything with that, but the combine it was a beast, man. It was a beast for me. So that's another story we're gonna have to talk about today too, on how all that went whenever you're ready. But
that's the next question, man. If you want to go into it, go ahead.
So just being a young guy, coming out, just trying to figure out what I had to do to get prepared for the combine. So after I get out of school, out of Kansas, I leave. So I had no plan. I had no education on, all I knew is I'm going to go try to get in the league. So again, I didn't withdraw out of school. I just left. They know I'm leaving, so they know to take care of it. No, I should have withdrew, because when I left, they were still giving me grades. So being that I wasn't there, I was getting Fs. So that's one thing, young players, whenever you do decide to leave, if you get the opportunity, withdraw out of school, which I'm quite sure they probably know now. Me at that time in 1998, I didn't know. I just like, man, I got a chance to go to the league. I'm out of here. Left everything, clothes, nigga, just left everything. I'm serious. Left, went straight to Boca Raton and started training. Got with a speed coach, got everything. Like, we're training, we're really getting into this thing, eating right, doing what I'm supposed to be doing, and get to the combine, man. It's like, they put you, it's like you in a bowl, and you just turn around in the bowl and you look up and all you see is GMs, owners, coaches. It's just like, you get in there and I'm looking, I'm like, whoa, this serious. And I got out there, I felt like I ran well. And after I ran and found out my time, I'm like, damn, I know I ain't running that slow.
What was it?
It was like a 4.8,
Oh, wow.
4.8, 4.9 maybe. So I'm like, no, this can't be right. So I ran again. I think we got a chance to run it twice. So I ran again, and it was still around that 4.8, 4.9. So I'm like, what the heck going on? After I get back to Boca, these jokers tell me, my trainer, like, the NFL clock versus the college clock is different. In college, you can roll, you can kind of move a little bit to get out, to get ready to start. In the NFL, time you twitch, move, the clock running. Whether you move or not, when you twitch or you move, the clock run. And I didn't know the difference in that. I'm rolling until my 40, they hit that clock.
Wow.
That hurt me bad. Start-wise, it hurt me bad, but I was able to train. I was able to run at my school, but it was only probably like 6 or 7 teams came when I ran at my school. I ran a 4.6 then because I fixed the issue and I understood then, but on that big stage, I lost a lot of money. Left a lot of money out there, man. So that's why I say, man, I try to get game of these young guys that'll listen. The ones that act like they know it all, I let them know. I let them do what they do. But the ones that'll listen and want that game, I got it. especially on something that I messed up on, I'm willing to pour it all out there, man. Yeah.
So let's get into the combine a little bit, man.
Mm-hmm.
So we looked it up. I do research. We do our research over here at Creative Moments, man.
Yeah.
And we saw the time was a 4.96, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
I was like, and I was looking at your stats from college. I was like, okay, well,
yeah.
I'm doing running a 4.96, and then it makes sense now because they always say like the combine, like when you look at it on TV, it don't look like everybody staring at you, but everybody is there to literally look at you. You know what I'm saying?
And they all like this. They got their clocks, and they all like this. And so, and I'm telling you, man, when you dog, I wish they would let people see like everything. Dog, you will feel like you're in a butcher shop, a meat shop. Like they pulling, they tugging. They putting you in these rooms, like in interrogation rooms, where they're asking like the Wonderlic test. They're asking these questions. You know, if a guy dropped $20 and he don't see it, you know, what would you do? Would you pick the money up and say, "Hey, you dropped it"? Would you know, put it in your pocket? And then they'll come back and ask the same question, but they'll reword it to try to make you give a different answer. They'll kind of know like, okay, you can't trust them. Like they depend on the Wonderlic test sometimes, you know. So it's crazy how they do it, man. But they're gonna invest millions and millions of dollars. You know, they want to know. So they know all your information. They know what you did and if they want to know, they know what you did in elementary. They go back and ask your teachers. They go back and ask neighbors. They worse than the feds. I'm saying at getting wanting to know something, man. Come on, man. These people ain't playing, man. They giving you all this money, man. They gonna try to find out.
Wow, man. Okay, that's crazy. Okay, so draft night. How did that go for you, man?
Draft night was emotional, man, cause I kept thinking about all the money I left on the table from the combine. And then I read this nasty review. You know how they have, what's the guy that be on ESPN now? Mel Kiper and Kurt Hurt. It was another guy named, before them was like, I don't know if his name, I forgot his name, but he was just like that before. Well, Mel Kiper and them was out then too, but I forgot this guy. He was like, disappointment of the draft. With the speed, with the 40, yeah. He brought that up like it was like in a magazine, like you know, like damn near bust, like somebody who messed up in the combine. Like my name came up because of that 40, you know what I'm saying? So I just had to, you know, get right, and fix the issue. But I feel like it was no getting back to what I probably could have got at that combine. I think if I would have ran that 4.6 at the combine, I would have been drafted at least 3rd, 4th round. You know what I'm saying? At least that. But I feel like when I ran the 4.7 at Kansas, even though I fixed it, because I thought maybe I'll still get 6th, 7th round, you know, because I felt like I fixed it. But it was already out there like, so that's how I went to I had a couple more offers on the table, but the Bills was the only one who offered some bread, some money, you know.
Okay, so after the draft, how did the Bills come about? Like, was it like 2 minutes after the draft they called you? Was it the next week? How did that go?
No, it was, like I say, it was emotional. So it was more like, I was thinking through the time like how I messed up. So I'm like, dang, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? Where am I gonna get taken? So right after I didn't get picked in the seventh round, I was getting calls like right around that time. The Dolphins called, and it was one more team. I think it was the Panthers or somebody, but they were just more like, I can come out, but there's no signing bonus, no nothing. So I listened to that, and then I get a call from I get a call from the Bills, from my agent, and he like, I think this might be your best shot right here. So we were looking at the rosters. It was a lot of older guys. And we was like, okay, so I was feeling like that was the best fit. And that's why I went on ahead and signed with the Bills. So it was probably about 30 minutes after the draft was done. And like I say, it was so emotional. Man, I was so emotional, man. I was drained after it happened because I'm like, I be seeing when these guys be like, about time. Like you sit around, you got family sitting there watching and you know what I'm saying? You ain't getting drafted. You walking outside, you know, so just dealing with all that stuff, it was emotionally, I was drained. And I was just excited that I had the opportunity to, you know, I got to my dream.
So,
yeah.
Okay, so one thing we like to do over here at Creative Moments is pocket watch.
Yeah.
What was that contract looking like, man?
Hey man, he's talking pocket watch. It was like back then, man. The league minimum was probably like $295, $300. It went. I don't know what it is now, but I know it's way more now. But it was that. I started out with a real base salary, like the base as you can get, and I think I had signed like a $25,000 signing bonus. It wasn't much, but it was good because I was a free agent. I wasn't a drafted guy or nothing like that. So I signed that, and then I signed a deal, a $25,000 roster bonus deal with Reebok if I made the roster, the opening day roster. So that it was real basic, man. But I know right now it's probably triple that now. And that's what it was, man. So again, you know, NFL, not for long. And that's how that kind of went, so.
Hold on. Let's look with 25,000. And when you got drafted, 02? 02?
No, I didn't get drafted. I went free agent. This was 01.
01? So
01.
Let's adjust that for inflation.
The minimum salary of it?
See what that is today.
Oh, okay.
See what that is today. That is $42,000 today.
Really?
Yeah, that's $42,000 today.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Okay.
That's crazy.
You can go ahead, man. You good.
Oh. I'll call you right back, Mom. I'll call you right back. That's my mom. Oh, my bad. All right.
So, coming into camp as an undrafted free agent, what was your mindset going in?
I was very optimistic coming into camp because I did not know what to expect. I wasn't angry. I felt like I was where I was supposed to be far as amongst NFL players, okay? But when I get in the locker room and I get to work in and I get to get out on the field, and now it's more like just like when I was at Kansas, I'm like, okay, I could do this for real. And that's how I felt when I got out there. I'm like, I can do this for real. And I worked my ass off. I stayed in the hotel. Rookies stayed in hotels. I stayed in a hotel 67 days. I mean, it was free everything, food, I can order whatever, but 67 days, it was a nice hotel, big room, everything nice, but dog, 67 days in a hotel, that's tough. And, you know, we had 3-a-day practices.
Y'all had what?
It was 3-a-days. We had morning, we had a special teams, and then we had a night practice. And then sometimes we'll select, like we had, man, my head coach, everybody know who Greg Williams is now. He was a defensive coordinator around the league, pretty good guy. But this was his first time being a head coach. And then that was my rookie year, his first year being a head coach, and he was with the Bills. Bro, we practiced for a whole hour how we was gonna come out the tunnel and stand for the flag. Wet arm to hold the helmet in, wet hand, everything. Way to stand, Like, he was like that. And we were banging. We were hitting. I'm talking about every day, every day. So it's nothing like how it is today. But a lot of them guys probably went last in the league because it was barbaric. And then we was also practicing 3 times a day, like literally practicing. You could say 2 but if you trying to make the team, you doing special teams practice. You ain't like the vets. They get to chill. They on the squad. But if you trying to make the team, I mean, you doing 3 days because you doing your special teams practice because you trying to get on kick, punt team, kick off. You know what I'm saying? Anything, field goal, block. You trying to get on anything. So you out there grinding it twice as hard because, some guys already know they done made the 53 or however many it was. So they could just chill. So that's how we had to do it, man. We had to grind 3 a days. And I think that mentally wore me out. It wore me out. But I just kept grinding because I just love the game. And then I felt like the guys I was competing against, I was for real, I was better, and it was just to see like, okay, you can be better than somebody, but you still might not be able to just walk right over and play because, it's levels to this, man. And I learned that getting to the league, like, because I asked the guy coach, who got me here? Who got me to the Bills? I asked the head coach that. And he was like, basically, it was somebody that was higher up with the owner of the team, like that was cool. So, okay, I like this guy. So that's how that happened. With free agency, that's sometimes that's how it happens. Somebody likes somebody or somebody knows somebody higher up. Hey, give my guy a shot. And that's how it happened. But it was tough, man. It was tough out there, man. It really was. And we had fun. We grind, and I enjoyed the experience, but mentally and physically, it wore me out. It wore me out.
So, how did you make the 53-man roster?
Nope, I missed it. The week prior, man, I'll never forget. So I'm like, okay, I'm looking around, I'm seeing guys disappear, and I'm still here. So I'm like, okay. We got like a week left. Roster getting small. I played in the previous preseason game against the Eagles. I made a couple special team tackles. I made a couple tackles on defense. I'm feeling good. So I'm like, okay, boom. Like that Tuesday, boy, it's like 4:30 in the morning. I'm like, I hear this. I get up, walk to the door like this here. Hey, man, you gotta bring that playbook. You gotta bring that playbook and go see coach. I'm like, damn, this how they do it? I'm talking about right after I had them made 2 special team tackles, I made like 2 tackles on defense. So I'm feeling good for the first time. Like, okay, I got some play. Boom, that Tuesday. So I walk in the coach's office. He like, listen, we're gonna go ahead and let you go now because we know somebody gonna pick you up. He like, somebody gonna pick you up. He like, look, man, and this what I'm gonna do for you, man. I'm gonna give you a first class ticket. He said, I'm gonna give you a first class ticket back home so you can get you a meal on the plane. Man, I'm flying back home. I'm eating my meal. I'm like, whoa, what am I gonna do? But I'm thinking somebody gonna pick me up. Nah, it's not easy. So that's when I went to the CFL. I had that on the back burner right after I had got cut, but I'm like, man, somebody gonna pick me up, man. Somebody gonna pick me up. So after about 2 weeks, I'm like, hey, what y'all wanna do, CFL? You know what I mean? Signed with the Toronto Argonauts. Nice little deal. It wasn't that extra. You know what I'm saying? I was making about 4 bands a week. 4 bands a week. But it wasn't a league. Like, I'm talking about everything downside, like we going to meetings in the trailers, you know what I'm saying? We practice, everything straight, you know what I'm saying? But it's just like when you done got a taste of that league, man, you like, man.
Kool-Aid ain't as sweet.
Nah. But I just wish I was smart enough at that time. I would have sat my ass down, dog. I would have stayed there and never came back. You know what I'm saying? Because, dog, I was making a living. Like, a lot of people don't make $4,000 a week. Come on.
That's 16 bands a month, doing what you
Dog, doing what you love. I mean, and Toronto is a beautiful city, dog. I'm talking about, dog, you wouldn't even know you would think you in the States in Toronto. It's just clean, but it's very clean, and it's different like that. It's clean. People catch the trains, the whatever, they just different. It's different, but it's a vibe. But me being my little young, being dumb in the brain, I'm like, my whole thing was the whole time I'm there, man, I'm getting back to the league. And so, you know, cloud my mind with that instead of focusing on right here where you at, man. It was a different game. The field was wider. The goalpost is in the middle of the end zone. And it's just some of the rules are different and stuff like that. So I just didn't understand the CFL game like that. You know what I'm saying? I really wasn't trying to learn it because, like I said, I'm trying to get back to the league. So I played over there about 2 months. So when I got there, they put me on the practice squad. I wasn't even playing on the regular team. Got called up, played on the regular squad, played 2 games, and then boom. After about 3 months, about 2.5 months, here come the Jaguars hitting up my agent. Like, you know, we want to give him a tryout. So this is, like I said, I was just starting to get comfortable in Canada. He was like, what you want to do? My agent, what do you want to do? I'm like, man. I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, I really want to take this opportunity and I really want to do this, but I just don't know. And I talked it over, prayed over it a little bit, man, and I left, man. Left, came back home, went for the trial with the Jazz. Did all right, but they didn't sign me. So now here it is. I'm trying to run back to Canada. They like, man, we done signed somebody. Damn. So now I'm not. Jaguars, no. CFL, Toronto, they didn't bring me back. So, you know, things went like that. I'm like, and I had some OGs on that team like, bro, don't go to no trial. Don't do the trials. Like, you ain't going, it's not, you might not get your spot back, man. I'm like, I'm out of here. And that's what happened, man.
Dang, man.
So you can go over there and make some good money, dog. Like, I'm talking about where, just like those overseas basketball guys that in Spain and Turkey and stuff, man, those guys still over there for a reason. They smart enough to understand, like, I can make some good money. And in CFL is like that too. You can make good money.
So, after you decided, after the CFL, right, after having a trial with the Jags, what was the plan after that? What was the move after that?
The move after that, man, it wasn't good. It wasn't good because I got to think, I was without, the first time in my life, I was without what I loved. You know what I mean? The game, like, I felt like I was empty because I had so much left in me to still do, and it felt like it was taken. And it was just difficult to deal with. So after that, I had a little shot to play some arena ball. I did that, but my mind was so gone off of that because I'm like, man, why am I going to work and then going to football practice and then going to play an arena game. Like, I'm supposed to be playing ball full time. Like, it ain't supposed to be. So I was done with it, man. Like, I'm gonna go work. So again, it was just a dark time for me after that. So I figured out, was trying to figure out what else I was passionate about and what else I can do to, transfer that negative energy off of me and find something that I love and I was passionate about. So I start subbing, right? So when I start subbing, I'm just peeping the game. I'm peeping, watching the kids and, see the guys the guys and girls who play sports and just, I'm like, okay. And so I got into coaching. So once I got into coaching, man, and working with kids and working within the school, I kind of found my passion for something other than playing football. And I just started pouring into the youth and pouring into doing different things that I was passionate about. And that's what I was able to do, man. But it was a dark time for me because I just felt like I had so much left to give the game. And now that I'm older, I know now I'm giving more than what I ever did in the NFL as far as what I've been doing since I've been working with these kids and just trying to pour into them and doing all the things that I've been doing. So I feel like that's what I was supposed to be doing all along. I just feel like football was a vessel to get me to a certain platform to where people are listening. Because as soon as you say NFL player or former NFL player or former Bills player, people gonna look. They don't care about you ain't there long. You know what I'm saying? They just know, oh, he had a chance to play in the league. And now I'm coming to grips to I gotta love that. I gotta feel good about that versus I don't want nobody to know I played. Or I don't care if nobody know. I'm not gonna, you know what I'm saying? So now I'm just coming to grips of feeling more prideful of having the opportunity of being able to play at a top level, be around that stuff, and just live that life. And I know I wanted it to be longer, but I felt like this is my calling more than playing in the NFL 10, 12 years, you know what I'm saying? And now, like I said, I done came to grips to it now and I accept it. So it is what it is now. But it was a dark time in the beginning because I was still young, man. And I was still had these dreams and aspirations of wanting to do something other than what God had for me doing. So now that I'm shifting and getting into to the right angle of it, now I'm good. You know what I mean? I'll say it. I used to play in the league. I'll say I played with the Buffalo Bills. You seen it the other day sometimes when I work camps with Donovan. I don't even like to say it, but he encouraged me, man, let these people know what you do. Let these people know, the experience you got. Don't hide behind that. Don't feel like you embarrassed because you want, let people know. And I appreciate stuff like that because I listen to it and it just helps me.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, so what advice would you have for a kid in high school right now that's trying to get recruited to play the next level that has aspirations to play in the NFL?
Don't worry about playing the NFL. Really put it to where if that can be a bonus or an added. Go to school, get your degree, have a plan already what you want to do without the NFL. Just plan your life without it and still work your ass off in the weight room and get better and play at a top level. So even if you don't get to the league or even if you get a shot and you don't stay long, you still got this degree. You already got your plan in place. So you ain't gonna go through that dark moment like I did to what am I supposed to do now? I didn't plan. I didn't have anybody saying anything. I just had a praying mom that was just she didn't know either. You know what I'm saying? And I had my brother looking up because he up next. Now he trying to navigate and figure out how to do it. And I'm trying to help him as much as I can. So, it was just, that was just the situation for me,
Gotcha. Okay, so we got some questions about the college sports landscape right now.
Okay.
Do you think NIL deals help or hurt college sports?
I think in certain ways they do. I think it does, and I think it's good for the game only because of what the players go through on just like a day-to-day basis. You know, what the institutions make off of the kids. We all know football runs these colleges, man. These boosters, college football, it runs the university. So for these kids to get some type of retribution back, I think that is good for that. But I just think they need to keep it with a cap versus just like letting it go to the point to where it's at now. So, but I do think it's good. I do think it helps families. I do think it helps the kids. Now I think they'll stay in school longer maybe because now they have the money to kind of do what they need to do, help their family and still stay in school and ball out. Or, you know, some kids can just take the money and still go to the league. But I just think it'll help the game more because kids will stay a little longer. You know what I mean?
Gotcha. Okay. Do you think how the transfer portal is used now hurts or helps college sports?
I think it helps some, but I think it hurt too. But what I think that's going to come and disrupt a lot of this here in the next couple of years is going to be prep school. And I think that's already happening. But I think it's a lot of kids and parents need to get up on the knowledge of the game of prep school. And what I mean by that, the advantages of a prep school. Now, you got to think about it. You got the portal, you got prep school, and then you got high school. So now with the prep school, you get a year to go play a year of collegiate football. So the prep school is college ball. But the good thing about it is once you're done with that year of prep school, you still got 5 years of eligibility left. So now these coaches can say, okay, so you got a kid in the portal got 3 years left. We don't know why he in the portal. We got a kid over here at the prep school. He got college film now. Now he got a 3.0. He had a 2.5 when he got to the prep school. Now he get to work on his prep school, his GPA by going to class, all right? But he don't lose no years. So now he got a 2.8 now, all right? 5 years. This guy got 3 in the portal. So now these coaches gonna say, let me take this guy here. I got 5 years to do what I need to do with him. You know what I'm saying? And he already got a year of college ball. Versus this guy in the portal, he got 3 years or whatever he got. So it's do you want a young guy that you can bring up through your system or do you want it right now? So now it's all like you can get whatever you want or do you want a high school kid? So it's like you get to pick up a little now. But I think the prep school, I think that's going to jump up a whole lot more here in the next couple of years with because again, it's a 6 to 9 month thing where you're banking on yourself. So kids come in now in August and they graduated December, they can go to Illinois or Ohio State and got 5 years. You see what I'm saying? So,
Gotcha.
yeah.
Okay. So, what do you think about the Ja Morant situation?
I heard, I was laughing about this. Well, I wasn't laughing, but I was watching this this show on YouTube. I think it's called All the Smoke. And it was interviewing Lil Wayne. And they was talking to him about the Ja Morant situation. And I kind of side with Wayne. Wayne say, look, man, y'all don't know that boy. Y'all don't know what that boy do. All y'all know that boy known for dunking, shooting jumpers. Y'all don't know what that boy do when he leave that arena. Y'all don't know what that boy thugging for real. Or y'all don't know, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know. And I feel like Morant he playing a dangerous game. You know what I'm saying? With just wanting to be in that lifestyle. And I said because, you know, us as athletes, man, we for some reason, we like that. We like to be having a little toe in the, you know what I'm saying, to be, because we feel like I need y'all to know. I need y'all to know we here too, and so I just feel like it's an unfortunate situation. But I think he's young enough to where he gonna have to get it right. So you get around the LeBrons, you get around these guys that know how to do it right, and you learn from them, dog. You don't feel like you too, I got my own money too, or I'm almost equal to you. Learn, dog. Get you some security guards. Let them carry that stuff around, and you right with them. You know what I'm saying? It's still you protected, so you ain't gotta flash. But again, like they said, like Wayne said, y'all don't know that boy. That boy might have to ride around with that stick for real, cause we don't know what he do when he leave the gym. You know what I'm saying? And if you walk around with that big gun, you doing it for something. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I'm at on that.
Gotcha. Okay. So, craziest story from your ball playing days.
Damn. Crazy stories, man. I don't even know, man. We have so much going on, man. I don't know. I just know, like, we, at the University of Kansas, man, we were kind of like that. Being at University of Kansas, I was a superstar. You know what I'm saying? So just, it always was something going on, man. I don't want to say on the event, but I just been around an unfortunate event while I was at Kansas, real close to seeing somebody get hurt and lose their life. And it was eye-opening for me to be so close around it and to see it really kind of just, it threw me off, man. And it made me start moving a little bit different, and also just respecting life a little bit more, and also just like being mindful and being how you treat people and how you talk to people, even the smallest people or the biggest people. Like, you just gotta be careful with how you talk to people and how you treat them, man, because you never know what people be going through. So just being around an unfortunate event in college, that was real tough for me. But on a lighter note, just us as football players, we felt like we were basketball players. So, University of Kansas, they always had great basketball players. So one day we was able to get in the gym in the Nesmith building and play some ball against the basketball players. I think it was like Drew Gooden. I don't know if you remember this guy. He played in the league for a long time. Kenny Gregory. We played, who else was playing? Jeff Boshi. Just a lot of basketball guys playing at the gym and being able to be out there and be around them, running up and down the floor. That was something that was very fun for me and a good memory that we had. Just hanging out. My guy Moran Norris, he from Houston. We always hanging out. He put me up on, they call it Screw, DJ Screw, this music where it's slowed down. Just learning different coaches, man. It was just fun, great memories and stuff like that I vividly remember on that,
Gotcha. All right, I got a couple more questions.
Okay. Okay.
If you could say anything to 16, 17, 18-year-old Carl Nesmith,
Yeah.
what would it be?
Slow down, young fella. Slow down, young fella. Man, I would say that. Just slow down and be more, plan more, make smarter decisions, and also I think I didn't take my academics as serious as I should have at a young age, around that 16, 17 age. I got a son right now, man. He's up in Fullerton, California at a JUCO. And I've been talking to him, like, we've been going, hard with just academics, son, take care of your grades. And he's been doing a tremendous job, just taking care of grades, taking care of his body, working out, doing things like that. But the academics, man, I say that because he was just recently added to the president list at his school. So I'm happy for him. My daughter also, she graduating with her AA degree this year, so she's about to haul off to college. And I got my oldest son who's in the military, and my oldest daughter here, well, she's in Fernandina. So all of them, they know about the academics. They know I push for it, and they all doing well on that. So I just say that, man, go harder, Carl, you know, with your academics, man. That's what I feel like I would have been saying to a young Carl.
Okay. Hardest thing you had to overcome in your career?
In my football career?
Yeah.
I think it was what I was telling you about earlier. When I was coming out of high school, I was a quarterback at my JUCO, and after my freshman year, at the end of the season, my coach told me he was gonna change my position. So it was me transitioning from being a quarterback all my life to learning how to play wide receiver and being depended on to make plays. So just this part was hard. The mental aspect of it was tough. Again, I was emotional. I didn't understand why. I was a young guy, so I just felt, it all felt negative to me. I didn't see what he saw, what my coach saw. And I think that was probably the toughest thing for me to be able to do. And the last one was when they knocked on that door and told me to, you know, turn in that playbook. They could at least let me keep the playbook. Nah, they was like, nah, let me get that, dog.
You still had Coley at 4:30.
Listen, man, I ain't did, man, look, man, I'm like, dog, y'all ain't wait till the sun come up? Y'all ain't, boys came and got me. Boy, hey, it was one of them little subtle knocks, like, damn, I don't want to knock. Like, damn, I hope you don't get up and answer. You know what I'm saying? So I hear it, yeah, man, you got the coach want to see you, man, bring your playbook, man. Damn. Like, damn.
All right, so the last thing, anything you want to get off your chest or promote before we get off, my man?
Man, yes. I want you guys, you know, I'm doing this training. It's called DB Skills Training. I've been doing that for probably about 10 years. It's not just DB training. I train all positions. I also have my 7-on-7 organization, North Florida Elite. We're going now into our 6th year. We got our website, www.northfloridaelite7v7.com. You can check out all the things we're doing. I host my own tournaments, which I'm proud of. That's another part of my passion, man. Hosting tournaments, bringing different teams from different states and cities. We had a big problem with that in Jacksonville. I could say about 4 or 5 years ago, as far as nobody would participate in these tournaments that would come to Jacksonville, the Jacksonville teams. So this is probably like my 3rd year on building on that, and we're constantly consistently bringing 30 to 45 teams in per tournament, and I try to do at least 4 or 5 of them, man. And it's tough because everything I do it with my own money. I do it my own way. I don't ask nobody for nothing besides getting the field, and that's paid for too. So that's my passion. That's somewhere I feel like kids can come out, they can display what they do. I bring in recruiting services so they can, you know, these kids that they see, they can write them down, start watching them. We do something with Catapult Sports where they can sign up and start their recruiting profile, turning in their information and learning more about recruiting and knowing what you got to do to be recruited. You know what I mean? You guys got to keep that social media clean. You got to keep all that cursing and gang stuff off of your social media. You just got to be smart with what you do. And the best thing to be is, like, make the hard decisions. Want to make the hard decisions and understand that it's important that you make them the right way and you do right. You got to watch your circle. You got to make sure you're careful with that. Please be careful with that. watching your circle. Man, a lot of people want to be in you guys' shoes. It takes a lot to be a student athlete. So I say that, and I also say, man, just be smart. You know, just be smart.
Gotcha,
and that's it, man.
Well, thank you so much for coming through the Creative Moment Studio, man. We
Yes, sir.
appreciate you. We just had Carl Nesmith.
Yes, sir. Appreciate y'all.
NFL player. Glad to have you, man. Thank you for coming through.
Appreciate it, man.
Most definitely.
Yes, sir, dog. I appreciate that, dog.